cold shower.
Okay,
Yeah.
ready?
Ah,
Good morning.
morning，早上好，
早上好。
我是陈志明 ，A.K.A. Rob Chen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just the way you say your own name too is so funny.
Do I mess up my name?
No, you don't. It's just like the accent is really
我
funny.
是 I'm trying. I've been trying. I've been trying
Sorry,
really
it's
hard.
not
Yeah.
funny.
It's okay. I've been trying ever since I came, or ever since I was in China. I've been trying.
I know.
I really have
Yeah,
been.
it's really
Yeah.
good for you. I'm really Hi everyone, I'm Christina Chen. I'm not
Yes.
as horrible as I appear to be. It's out of love. Anyway,
It's
we're
love, that's
matching
all it
today
is.
by accident.
Unintentionally matching with the
Unintentionally
paint, you
twinning.
know.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I'm Christina Chen. This is Rob Chen.
Yes, and this
we
we
are not related. But we are matching today. So.
hmm This is China on the internet. We are on YouTube and on Instagram and on SoundCloud and Spotify. Check us out on CHINOSITY.
We're on so many platforms. You really have no excuse.
Yeah, you have no excuse. You gotta watch our stuff. So
Or you can download and listen to it on your commute.
on the train, in the car, wherever you are around the world, we're here for
Well,
you.
I don't know about around the world, but
Could be.
could be. Anyway,
Yeah.
welcome back.
Thank you. I'm very excited to come back. It's been a crazy 2 weeks, so
I know.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's been 2 weeks. It almost feels like it's been longer.
it feels longer.
But also summer's over.
Summer's also over,
which is
so there's that.
crazy.
Yeah. So
I'm getting in one last beach weekend though this weekend.
you are?
Mm-hmm.
Where you gonna go?
New Jersey.
Damn. Okay.
Best
okay.
beaches
Word.
Yeah.
All right, hit up the shores. Hit up the Jersey
Jersey Shore.
shores, you know?
down the shore. Yeah.
Do your thing. I'm probably not going to be doing that, you know?
One last free weekend before
Free weekend before.
fall really hits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, you know?
Mhm.
And the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be
Wow,
coming up
that's
as well.
Coming up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
gonna
so
happen
tell
this
me
month.
about your trip. Tell everyone about your amazing,
Ooh.
enlightening experience.
China. Here we go. 中国. So,
中国.
中国.
There you go.
I always got to work on the tones. So, I was there for 2 weeks, and I spent, I was a part of this like tour group. It was like a giant tour groups. If you've ever been in one of these Chinese tour groups, you know what I'm talking about.
Do they have the hats and like the flags?
So when we were in Tibet, they didn't allow the flags or the hats, so they
Okay.
used an umbrella instead.
Classic.
You know, and over there it's crazy because it's so hot. Like the sun is just really, really bright, just
Yeah.
because you're like 3,000 meters above seawater. So that was a whole crazy experience. I was there in Tibet for a week, and then I spent some time in Xining and Donghua,
Mm-hmm.
and then Beijing. So I was in these like Beijing with a hard R. Yes, good old Beijing right there. Beijing was
You
cool
didn't see
though.
my parents.
I didn't get a chance to, you know.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things I wish I
know,
could have
kidding.
seen actually. But because of
They're
the,
busy too.
I mean, because of the, I'm sure they are. You know, they have lives and stuff. I'm just a kid just roaming
They
around.
work.
You
They're
know,
both working parents.
both working adults, and
Mhm.
I'm just trying
I'm
to
kidding.
find my roots. You know,
Mhm.
again. So it was cool. It was cool. I'll say, I was there last year.
Mm-hmm.
And from last year to this year, it felt different. Like my view of China felt different. I think part of it is actually because
Elaborate on that.
I just came in there. I was like, whoa! Like I've always had this like love-hate relationship
Mhm.
with the motherland, for
Mhm.
lack of better words, because I am Chinese American, but I was born in New York. So figuring out your identity has always been really, really weird for me. And especially the question of where are you from?
Mhm.
I get asked this question all the time in New York, and sometimes that question could come off kind of loaded. In a sense, like they don't really want to know where you're really from. They just want to know what your ethnicity is.
Mhm.
But they just say where you're from because they assume that, you know, I'm not from this country,
Mhm.
even though I was rightfully born here. I have a passport and everything.
Mhm.
So sometimes, but I always will
And you
ask
grew
them.
up here too. It's not like
And I grew up here, you know. But I'm always like, I always let it go, and I'm always like, okay, well, I want to know what you think. Where am I from? And then they'll mainly guess Korean, Japanese, and Vietnamese.
Wow.
And then rank 4 is Chinese. They don't even think I'm Chinese. And what's interesting is that when I was in China, when I was in Beijing, I was in one of the leaning stores. It was like a sports brand. And I was talking to my brothers in English, of course. And then I got
Wait, you speak to your brothers in English? Not Cantonese?
in English.
Really?
Yeah, why?
I thought you guys speak in Cantonese sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course. Sometimes we do, but most of the time we speak in English.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know.
Most. Good to know. Good to know.
No, just like depends on the family. Like when I'm with my sister, we speak English. But
Yeah,
like
right?
if we're
Like if you're out and about and you
Yeah.
want to say a secret, you
Yeah.
use Chinese.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I do the same thing too with my brothers. But in China, we're just like, okay, whatever. Like,
Okay, fair.
hey, I want to like, because if anything, it's easier for
it's
us
your
if we.
instinct, yeah.
It's also easier for us if we were to tell a secret to each other in China, we would use English instead of Cantonese.
Yeah, that's true.
So there are a lot of people who like looked at us and were like, "Where you from?"
Mm.
And the crazy thing is that I never felt so comfortable with somebody asking me where I was from in China, because that's the one time where I could actually be like, "Yeah, I am not from China.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from here."
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell you, I'm from America
Mm-hmm.
or I'm from New York, and they'll be, "Oh, whoa!" And it was really interesting just talking to the local people.
It's like that scene from Aquafina, right?
Yeah, exactly from that
Not
scene.
Aquafina, the farewell.
From the farewell, it was 100% like that.
Yeah.
Because then they start opening up and they're like, so literally just like in the movie, do you like America better? Do you like China better?
What'd you say?
I'll say it's just different. And I came to the conclusion that, you know,
That's what Aquafina said.
there's a lot of things that America could learn from China. And there's a lot of things that America could learn, or that China could learn from America.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop the trade wars. That's one thing. And got to be on good terms for that. So
Tea.
So but they will ask me these questions because most of them have never left the country.
Yeah.
Most of them don't know what is outside of China because of the Great Firewall of China. There's no YouTube, there's no Google. They have Baidu and Youku, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a way different platform. So they're asking me questions like, hey, do you have a gun?
Wow.
Yeah. Because all they're exposed to is the media and movies. Like, they love superhero movies. They love Marvel movies. But what do you get from watching a Marvel movie? Guns, violence, like all this like buildings,
money.
big money production type of
yeah.
stuff. Like, it's really grand, you know. But obviously, that's not all of
Yeah.
America. But from their lens, that's what they know, and it's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way as if I were to go to the middle of America and like ask them, hey, what do you know about China? They probably don't know much. They probably will think, oh, maybe you eat dogs or something.
Yeah.
You know, as sad as it may seem, but it's just what you're exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool having that experience. Also, before, I had judgment on China. I've had my fair share of judgments of China.
Mm-hmm.
In particularly one which was like, I always hear it all the time, you know, people from China, oh, they're so rude or something like that. You know, like there's just so many people. Everyone's just so rude. They don't really care about personal space.
Mm-hmm.
Personal space, I get.
There's that mentality where it's like if you're not first, you're last
Yes.
in China, because there was a time where if you weren't first,
I mean,
you were last.
You were last.
Because, like you said, it's so overpopulated.
Mm-hmm.
The resources.
Resources are limited.
Yeah.
Like we had an episode where we talked about the Gaokao. And
Yeah.
think about like 10 million high school kids taking this one test that
Yeah.
happens once a year, and only a quarter of the kids go to college.
Or like the one-child policy was
One-child
instated
policy.
because they were trying to control the population because there weren't enough resources for people to live. So there is that mentality.
There is.
Like if you are boarding a bus, it's not going to be, you know, single file line. It's going to be trying to get on
Yeah.
as fast as you can. And
Yes.
it's not necessarily out of like, you know, rudeness to other people. It's just
not.
like, if I don't get on this bus, I'm
Yeah.
going to be late to work. And if I'm
Exactly.
late to work, I'm going to get fired. And if I get fired, I can't feed my kids. It's like a very just logical.
It is logical.
Yeah.
It's 100%
For that-
logical.
yeah.
Which is why
the
before,
moment.
so before I was like, okay, they're just rude.
Right.
But then coming
So
back
easy
this
to
time
think
around,
that.
it's so easy to just think of that on surface level.
Yeah.
But when you actually get to talk to some of them, a lot of them are actually really, really nice. And they mean good intentions. I understand the whole like personal space thing because like for sure, there's not enough space when there's so many people. Of course you're gonna sit next to this person and you don't
Yeah.
know them and whatever. But then also like you also have to understand like, how should I put it? The best way for me to put it is a simple story, a little anecdote.
Okay.
I was on a plane. We're going from Tibet to Xining, and then I was sitting in the middle seat, and then there's a guy sitting at the aisle seat. My mom asked the gentleman, "Hey, can you help get my backpack? It's up there, and I can't reach for it." No response. Didn't do anything
Wow.
until I started standing up. I was about to stand up, and then he sighed. He's like, and went up and got the bag from my mom. When he sat down, I told him in Chinese, I said, 她是我的妈. 如果你不想帮她，我可以帮她。她是我的妈，我不理。And he let that sink for a second. And then after he went up to me, he said, hey, you know, like, my apology, you know, 不好意思. It's like, is that like, I don't want, like, when I open the compartment that all the bags will fall out and it's going to hit somebody. So I was like, okay. And then we just ended up talking.
Was this when the plane was in the air or on the ground?
On the air.
Were you allowed to stand up at that point or no? Like, was the seatbelt sign on?
No. So you could stand up.
That's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
That he, like, didn't want to...
He didn't want to help.
No, he just didn't want to get up.
He didn't want to get up. Yeah. He didn't want to get up.
That's why I asked if he was allowed to get up or not.
And he was allowed to get up. And so automatically my instinct was, okay, he's just another rude Chinese man. But then he was like, okay, well, I didn't want all this stuff to fall down. I was like, okay, sure. We kept talking. Turns out this dude loves rock and roll. He listens. He showed me his playlist of all his music. I'm like, dude, there's bands that I don't even know. He listens to all these Western bands from the UK, from Germany, and from America. He said when like ABDC came to China, he said, I went to see them 3 times and stuff. ACDC, you know? America's Best Dance Crew. Yeah. And so we chatted a lot.
I feel like only you could get that out of somebody though. Like if that were me, I would like be like so disgruntled. And I'd be like, fine.
Right? You'll be like, fine, sure, right? I'm not gonna care about you, but the fact is
I would literally be sitting there like
it'll be
this.
like, you're mean to me. You know? But I didn't want to be that way because I didn't want to let my judgment affect my learning experience being in China.
Yeah.
As a Chinese American, I really wanted to learn the mentality because I realized that being on this trip, there's a huge disconnect. I really don't understand the people as much.
Well, you're not from there.
Because I'm not from there, but I want to understand and I want to learn and I want to embrace it fully. So I had this full-blown conversation with him. By the end of it, we swapped like WeChat and stuff.
Gosh.
Like, yeah, he did. And then he ended up sending me a whole bunch of like recommendations of movies, Chinese movies to watch. Because I said I expressed interest in getting better at Mandarin. Said, oh, watch these couple movies. These movies are great. We talked about the difference between American films versus Chinese films, like American music versus Chinese music. He's a firefighter, turns out. And he was like, yeah, like in America, isn't like being a firefighter, like being a hero, like it's like really top up. I was like, yeah. And maybe it's not as honorable of a profession or prestigious like in China, but it was really, really cool just like talk to him about it. And he's also never left the country either.
Wow.
So he's like, oh yeah, I want to leave.
It's hard
It's hard, you know, and costs a lot of money. Not everybody has a passport. But he says maybe when I retire, like I will go travel out. And he's like, oh hey, this one specific band, they're old now, they're about to retire, so they're definitely gonna have a show in America. So if you do get a chance, you have to go see them. I was like, oh crap, like
how old was this dude?
He's 35.
Oh, okay.
This dude was like 35. So we talked about the NBA. He's like, oh yeah, I like the NBA back in the day. Like nowadays, it's like everybody's just shooting like 3-pointers. But before, it was like people like were aggressive about it. It was like toughness and stuff. I was like, damn, you know a lot about American culture. And he's like 35 years old. I have like if it was somebody who was like 18, I'll be okay. Maybe you are a bit more open-minded about certain things. But he was 35. Which means that there's a huge appetite for new things, a huge appetite for things outside of the country, in America, in like different areas because of like art, especially art. So I will love for it in the future where there'll be more crossovers of movies, songs, music, like fashion, like everything.
Totally.
I want that, you know?
Wow, what an enlightening experience for you, it sounds like.
Yeah. And, like, I look at all this, and I'm like, America and China is still trying to butt heads for some reason, but we can't be that way, you know?
They are drastically different countries. Like, having lived in both of them for extended
You feel like they're very different?
So different.
Because I feel like being there, they're more similar than we think.
I mean, the people are... like at the core, I think, but like everyone just wants to hustle and do their thing. But at the same time, just the environments are so different. Like,
It's true.
I just get into a different mode when I'm on that airplane. It's like I'm like mentally adjusting.
Wow. Do
Yeah.
you think differently when you're in China versus being in America? Or do you behave differently?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I think we'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah.
For sure. And I understand there's certain things you can't say.
Not even that
No?
you can't say. It's just like if I'm walking down the street in China, I'm not gonna have my phone out and be like texting someone.
Mm.
I will get hit by a car in 2 seconds. Do you know what I'm like?
Yeah,
it's
okay.
just-
Yeah.
If I'm walking down the sidewalk here in the States, maybe I'll be texting someone or like maybe on Instagram. I don't like to do the walk-in scroll thing, but like
With your head down.
it's just different. Or like what I'll bring with me when I go out. Like in New York, I'm like, oh, I'm going out right now and I know I'm gonna come home later, but there's a chance I could like go somewhere. Like my friend could text me and then I have to go meet them, or like I have to go to this audition or something. So like I always have stuff with me in my bag. But in China, if I'm going somewhere, I know I'm going there and then I'm going home, or I'm going here and then I'm going there. There's no chance of me like all of a sudden like, oh, all of a sudden I'm in Sanlitun and I'm gonna go to Wangjing. Like that just makes no like you need to plan.
Huh.
I think it's because it's such a
Spontaneity.
bigger city.
It is. Like Beijing's huge.
It's the size of Connecticut. Like the state of Connecticut is the city of Beijing.
That's so
I can't even wrap my
crazy.
head around it. There's like a map where they overlay Connecticut with Beijing, and it's crazy.
And
Anyway.
it's just way more people.
I'm so glad you were able to go. I can't wait to go home this fall.
I have something for you.
What do you have for me?
Well, I mean, I went to China. I gotta come back on China on the internet with something.
I've
so
seen you since then, though, haven't I? Oh,
Yeah.
what'd you get me?
I didn't tell you about this.
No.
Here you go. This is for you.
Rob, thank
Yeah.
you.
I was in one of those
You got me
markets.
one of these.
Yeah.
I love it.
Show the people what I got
All
you.
right. What is this made out of? Do you know?
Some type of stone. I don't know.
It says Mei Mei, which means, well, this May is the May for beauty.
Wait, is that different from your
From
May?
Little Sister?
No, I wanted from your name.
Oh, yeah, this is my
Yeah.
May. Yeah, I thought you were, because he calls me Little Sis or Mei Mei,
Yeah.
like Little Sister. And then it says,
Well, it's double entendre, right? I'm trying to do some Chinese wordplay
yeah, we
here.
love it. And then what does it say? Something Ping An?
Uh,
Sheng Ping An. I can't read it.
I can't read it,
It's
so
in That's so sweet. Thank you,
yeah.
Rob.
So I got it. I
Oh
was
my
like, I
goodness.
knew I was
You're
in
so sweet.
Beijing.
Yeah.
I knew I was like, I got to get you something.
Oh,
At least something, for here. Like, so I was like, here, with your name on it.
Rob. What a
Yeah.
sweetie.
I try.
Yeah, that's my character for May.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
earrings. Oh, wait, I'm not wearing them today. I
For
have
May.
earrings that say May Ping.
Yes.
Oh,
It's also May.
love it. On the red string. Classic.
Gotta have it on the red string.
Classic.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. So you could hang it up somewhere or wear
You
it
can wear it
sometime.
too.
Yeah, you can
I'm
wear it
gonna
sometime. So
It's super cute.
yeah.
I can untie it. I'll do that later.
Yeah, you can do that later. you know.
Anywho.
So yeah.
谢谢.
Bukaji. It's my way to come back. That's how I see it.
Love that.
Back in the
I can't wait
States.
to go. Have good food again.
When are you gonna go to China?
Supposed to be going in November.
In November.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since you've been back, right?
Yeah, it's been over a year now.
Over a year. Wow. You're
I'm
looking forward to going
excited.
back?
Yeah. I mean, I like living here, but I'm ready to go visit.
Yeah.
my
See
friends.
family.
Yeah, eat some
friends.
good food. Speaking of food, we have our Chinatown episode coming out soon.
Yes.
We went to Chinatown.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right when I came back, next day, jet
Mhm.
lagged, we getting some food.
Did you get to go to the new Costco in Beijing while you were there?
There's no new Costco in Beijing.
There's a new Costco.
It's in Shanghai.
Oh, it's in Shanghai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can you imagine if
Exactly.
it was in Beijing, actually? That'd
It
be
would
crazy.
be ridiculous. I mean, Shanghai is already crazy enough as it is.
Okay, what's happening with this new Costco in Shanghai?
So-
I knew there was a Walmart before.
Yeah, there's
like a
there's Sam's
Carrefour.
Club. There's Sam's
Sam's
Club
Club,
in China. They already have like 23 locations. So having this type of like discounted like wholesale type of place is not new in China.
Right.
But what is new is Costco. Costco opened its first location last Tuesday in Shanghai. It was ridiculous. Absolutely crazy
You see the
mayhem.
photos?
I saw the photos. I read up on the article, and I saw the numbers. They had to shut down the store early because there was that many people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, Costco announced and they had to shut down for security concerns.
Talk about if you're not first, you're last mentality. Do you see the video of them going in? It was like a Black Friday event or something.
Yeah, except like it's probably gonna
Except
happen
it was
every day.
regular, yeah.
And
Can we pull up that video?
is there? Where's that? It's here, right?
Yeah, on NPR. Shuts early, owning to massive crowds.
That video. Where's that video go? Huh?
I don't know. Where is it? Just Google it.
I might have to Google this.
Here, I'll do it while you talk about it.
So,
You have a lot to say. I can tell.
I mean, I've been to Costco in the States.
You have?
Duh.
I have been with my aunt in New Jersey. But it was like chill. I feel like everyone goes to Costco in New Jersey. Do you know what I mean?
In New Jersey, yes.
Yeah.
And I've been to the one in Brooklyn a good amount of times to help family.
Oh, do you have a membership here?
My mom does.
Wow, how much is it here?
It's like a good $100-something, I feel.
It's like way
Like
cheaper in
100-something.
China.
In China, it's $42 annually for a membership. $42. And they just keep going there. And look, I'm not going to be biased, but speaking as an Asian person and as a Chinese person, we love our discounts.
Yeah, we do.
We love our
really
deals.
Do, especially
Oh, is this the video right here?
Yeah. Look
Pulled
at that.
from CNN.
We'll copy it so you can see it.
Dude, Costco.
That looks like worse than the Trader Joe's on 72nd Street at 5 p.m. on like a Thursday.
I know exactly what you're talking about. This is crazy. That image right here with all the cops.
And she just like snuck under.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
Look at that line just to get into the parking lot.
You know, it takes them about 3 hours for people to find parking in the parking lot. 3 hours
This is
of a
like
wait.
some Hunger Games stuff.
3 hours to wait, and then 2 hours when you're waiting to check out. Yeah. Takes
Oh my God,
3
look at this
hours.
going under the thing when it's opening.
Yeah, they're definitely ready to shop. Look at that. It
They're-
looks
while
Black Friday.
while the gates are opening, they're crawling. Oh.
Look, I don't blame them. I don't blame them
I mean,
because
it must be so affordable.
it's so affordable. It's because
Yeah, people are
like they grab all that. But look, see, close early with crowd control. It's
This is wild.
crowds. The stores have been clogged up with crowds. To provide you with better shopping experience, Costco will suspend business in the afternoon.
Please don't come is the last thing.
Please don't come.
Okay, I'm copying that video in.
Yeah, it's crazy because it makes sense. They have their discounts is 30 to 60% off market prices.
Wow.
And their food items, their food produce,
Mm-hmm.
10-20% off its market price as well.
Wow.
Fresh produce, fresh everything wholesale. Like, and you're gonna expect people not to go there and buy stuff. Of
Yeah.
course, you're gonna go there and buy stuff, and you will wait 3 hours, and you will for a parking spot, and you will wait 2 hours for the checkout line. And Costco had to. So now Costco is doing a thing where they're going to announce to all their members in advance how long the wait is and how crowded it will be.
Wonder if you have to make appointments. Can
You know,
imagine?
if they have to make a point, I feel like that's probably the only way you could do it, is if you make an appointment in advance. I
Yeah.
feel like you have to. I mean, unless they want to keep doing
Can
this
you
whole
imagine
crowd
making an
control thing,
appointment with Costco?
they have to limit it to 2,000 shoppers in the warehouse at a time. 2,000 is already a lot.
Yeah.
2,000 is already
The
a lot
thing
of
is,
people.
there is no, like, there is Carrefour and, you know, other big supermarkets in China that have begun to, you know, franchise
Yeah,
and stuff.
like Sam's
But
Club.
they've never had this, like, this big.
This is crazy.
And I'm wondering how it's going to hurt the local stores and the local economy.
Yeah.
People who like still have fruit stands, like
The
there's
mom and pop stores.
there's
and
still a
everything.
street right by my house in Beijing where it's like a big block of just like they live in like the space above the store, and it's just like local stores, like local fruit stands, and like yeah, the fruit is like a little more expensive than it would be if you went to a grocery store. But my parents would always buy it on their way back from dinner, on their way back from work, because it's just like local and you
Local,
just give cash.
Cash,
But
convenience.
so many of them have been closing,
Dang.
and they've been turning into like more like smoke shops or
Really?
yeah,
Interesting.
more professional shops that
Well, I
only
mean,
sell one thing.
it's happening in America too.
Yeah.
Like 30% of malls are closing. Yeah. Because of AI technology, because of Amazon. Like,
Yeah. And then Hudson Yards just opened. That's a huge mall.
Yeah, another
Crazy.
huge mall, and like so these mom and pop stores and rising prices of rent and everything, overhead costs is too much.
I know.
So instead, you have things like Costco or these big stores and even big food courts that just places everything
Yeah.
there all at the same time.
Yeah.
See, that's actually something that I wish like New York, for example, had more of.
Mm-hmm.
I want New York to actually like follow Beijing and Shanghai and see, hey, look at all these big food courts instead of
some.
a few.
We have like Chelsea Market.
Great. We named the 2 that exist in New York.
I can name more than 2.
Great.
Chelsea Market, Columbus Circle.
Columbus Circle. Okay, the one in K-Town. Sure. Food court there too. Great.
The Smorgasburg count, like the outdoor one, Williamsburg.
No, that doesn't count because that's a
Why?
whole. That's just a market that just happens to be there every once in a while
It's every
over the
weekend.
summertime, you know.
Every weekend.
But it's not
Okay, fine.
like it's not like a place,
okay.
like an establishment where you have like 50 stores, and
Yeah,
you're
I guess.
indoors, and then you could choose and select, and then, because then for the business owners, these small business owners, they don't have to worry as much about the overhead cost
Right.
when you have like a brick and mortar shop. But if you have it in like a big place, food court, it's easy, and then
That's
everybody
true.
could go in. And I wish like more people could actually start using something like WeChat, where everything's just paid on there.
I've seen some subways where now you just Apple Pay to get in.
There's
Like
Apple
a
Pay.
very few.
Okay, but that's very few. There's Apple
The
payments.
456. Where is it? That way.
Oh,
That way.
that way.
I'm like, where is north? That's south.
Yes, I think so.
Great.
Yeah, but even still,
Watch
like,
me be completely wrong about
but
that.
then I go into like China, and I'm going in these food courts
Like
everywhere.
Super 88.
Like but
Been
all
to
all
the
you
food
need is a
court?
QR code. All you need is a QR code.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Tap, 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 tap. Boom, boom, boom. You're done. No need for
Don't you
change.
feel kind of
like,
scared though? Like I was at Trader Joe's the other day and I was paying with my phone because I was on a run, and I took out my phone and I didn't even open the app, and it just my credit card thing showed up and it went bleep 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 and then it paid. I'm like,
technology,
I
because they
could
know.
have just accidentally paid for somebody else's groceries
You
if I had
could've,
taken
yeah.
it out earlier.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Because I noticed if you double tap, your card shows up. So I have to go into my settings and change that. So now I have to manually open the wallet app to get my card. But before, if you just double tapped and you
tap,
were
your
near
card
a
would just be
reader,
there?
it would just pay.
That's crazy. You got to be careful about that.
Because that's like what? Isn't that crazy?
You got to be careful, like I said.
Yeah, well,
you
that's
know?
why I turned it off. Anyway.
But they do that like mobile payments everywhere, and these shops are all in one complex. In order to save space in New York, that's what we're gonna have to do in the future.
Yeah. Well, that underground, like Columbus Circle market is super smart.
Yeah, that one's great.
Yeah,
and
love that.
But see, that exists everywhere in Asia,
right.
not just in China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, all these like malls, underground
Yeah.
subway malls, everywhere.
Yeah.
And you look at our subways here. What do we have? We have a rat eating pizza.
I know. I've
That's
seen
what we
that
got.
too many times. It's really cool.
So now that Costco is doing this thing, I am curious to see what's going to happen with these mom and pop stores. I wouldn't know. One thing I do know is that actually in relationship to what I was saying before with the trade wars, if you look at the bottom here, they even talk about it. Still, the ongoing U.S.-China trade war could complicate the company's supply of Costco. Zhang, who is like the China, he's part of the China branch of it, he said that about 50%
he's
of
the
the
vice
products,
president.
50% of the products from overseas came from the U.S. and they're being replaced with items in Australia now. Me as an American, I will obviously be like, I would rather have the U.S. items in there.
But if you think about it, it's probably more efficient for it to come from Australia geographically.
But you also gotta think of like quality and also like what kind of foods that they're coming out with, especially because Costco is an American store. Is founded in America.
But everything sold at Costco is probably made in China.
Oh yeah.
So like I don't think I don't necessarily think like it's a quality issue. I think it's just like a loyalty thing.
Maybe it's a loyalty thing.
Yeah.
And on top of which, because of the trade wars, like it is way more
Like I'm
expensive
sure
to
the
like
fruit from
ship
Australia is just as good as the fruit from America.
Maybe even better.
Probably better.
Maybe even better and healthier.
And it's probably fresher because it's closer.
From Australia to China? Yeah. But that means that, as a US company, they're gonna have to find some other ways to like go around that, because as long as we still have the stupid trade war happening, it's gonna make it way harder to do business. Stock markets are like up and down, up and down. My brother's like anxious all the time because he's looking at that.
Your older brother. I mean, you're young.
I'm the oldest. 我是大哥.
You have that younger brother who seems like he's older than you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't act like the oldest brother,
There's
you know.
like another one. What's his name again? Jersey.
And then I have Donald, who's my youngest brother, you know.
Donald.
So he's the one who's like all up on these apps.
Donald is?
Yeah, he's into stocks, yeah.
Sweet boy.
I know. I told him, hey, if you guys are interested in stocks and are interested in Chinese stocks, just look at BAT. BAT. It stands for Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. You're welcome.
Wow.
I use my
You are
business
so
degree for good
knowledgeable.
use.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I forget you have a business degree.
Yeah, right? I used
So
that way
funny.
back in the day,
So
you
many
know?
actors with like not acting related degrees.
That's me.
Speaking of acting,
Speaking of
I finally
acting,
watched Wu Assassins.
the first episode, right?
First two.
First two. Word.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I was so excited to watch it because it just looked so cool. The fighting is so good.
Dude, fight choreography, it's amazing in there.
It's incredible.
It's hard for me to find like shows that's produced in America with good fight sequences.
Yeah.
But because this is directed by a Hong Kong filmmaker and it stars a very, very famous Indonesian action star.
Mm-hmm.
I can never pronounce his name.
Which one?
I really need to know how to
What
pronounce his
character
name
does
because
he-
he's so cool.
What character does he play?
He plays the main guy. He plays Kai.
Iko Uwais.
Iko Uwais.
Probably butchering
If I'm
that.
butchering the name,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
100% apologize for that. I'm gonna do better.
Kaijin, yeah.
He's super famous.
Oh, he's half Chinese, right?
He's Indonesian. I think he's full Indonesian.
Oh, is he? Because in
Yeah.
the show,
In the show, he's half Chinese, half Indonesian.
I think he is in real life too.
He is?
I think so.
Hmm.
Maybe not. It was. Well, I just remember watching that scene in the kitchen where he's like, "Which half are you?" And he's like, "The half you can't see."
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to start using that as an answer.
I really like that scene actually because it's really rare where you get to find like someone who's like half Asian of a half Asian, half
Oh.
Indonesian, half Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, okay, like, well, what part are you?
Which half is
Which
Chinese?
half is Chinese? You know, the part that you can't see. I just find it really cool. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
People
because
always ask me that. They're like, "Is your mom or your dad?" 'Cause
Yeah.
They like don't believe me. Like somehow, if I tell them that my dad is Chinese, that's proof. Even though I could
even though
just
your
be
last name is Chen.
I know. Well, I guess I could have taken my mom's last name, but still, some people.
Chen is dope though.
Yeah, Chen is
Chen
great.
is dope.
Yeah. But some people are like, "You're half Chinese," and they'll be like, "Which half?" And I'm definitely gonna start using that.
Yeah, the half that you can't see. I like that.
Doesn't make you any less.
It doesn't make you any less. In my opinion, if you're a Hapa, if you're a quarter, if you're a 16th Asian, in my eyes, you're still Asian. That's how I see it. Because I love you no matter what. if
That
you're
was
Asian.
cool that they put that in the episode.
Yeah, they put it in the episode.
Oh, there's spoilers. I haven't read it. I haven't seen all of it. I just jumped ahead.
Don't worry, we don't have to talk all in depth about the spoilers. What is mainly important about this is Tai Ma, who plays one of the protagonist's friends, Mr. Young, who's like the neighbor of Kai. He straight up said, "Hey, no, like we think that we need a season 2." Because right now they're waiting on a season 2.
Yeah, waiting to see if they'll get renewed.
Waiting anxiously, and
I would love
it's
season
tough.
2.
Like I want to have season 2. Even I've only seen one episode so far, but I'm gonna watch the rest of it all the way up to episode 10. I know some crazy things happen.
It's a little hard to follow.
Well, because we only watched one episode of it.
Well, I've
We're
seen 2.
introducing all these, even in episode 2. Like I feel like you're still introducing the whole world of it, which is hard because like if you're trying to establish a world, it takes time to establish a world. Think about Game of Thrones. It takes a while to establish like all the
Game of Thrones.
I haven't either, and I'm not going to.
Me neither.
It's way too long. But with this show, it has a whole world to it. You know, it's got the Wu assassins. You know, got the 5 warlords. Oh, for those who don't know what it's about, it follows this guy named Kai, who's a chef. And then he finds out that he is last in line of being a Wu assassin. And the Wu assassin's main mission is to assassinate the 5 warlords. And so it has superpowers, like supernatural abilities. He got this supernatural abilities where he could like fight. And he possesses like 1,000 like warriors, like 1,000 souls. That's why he could like fight so
And he
well.
doesn't look like himself when he's an assassin.
Well, I think what it really is that he still is himself, but when they show a different person fighting, it's like that soul in his body.
Right. But
Yeah.
other people see him as that soul. Like his like, and when it goes to another character's point of view and the other character is seeing him, they see the other person. Because remember, he looked in the mirror of the car and he saw it was the other dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this bald dude.
So when he's fighting, he's not himself.
No, he is that person. You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
It took me a second to understand.
When I saw that first episode, I guess spoiler, but that first episode, they had a nice tie-in from like, because that's what the first thing you see, but then at the end, you see how we got to that point of like, oh, now it makes sense why he could fight.
Storytelling.
You know, and spoiler alert, pretty much he's like, I don't kill people, like that's not what I do, I'm a chef. But at the end, he does kill somebody.
I mean, it's called Wu Assassins.
Assassination.
Yeah.
So
I guessed it.
So when he's like, oh crap, like, so I want to know how this character develops fully. So when what time I was saying is that like, we're just getting our feet wet with season 1. With season 2, you get to explore the characters more in depth. You get to expand the world more. And if there's 5 warlords, like you gotta have like a lot more crazy stuff happening. I could imagine like different assassins coming in. I could imagine like a whole army from like one of the warlords coming in, and he has got like one person like fight off like 100 people. That would be amazing. Kind of like Redemption. If you haven't seen that movie, watch it.
I haven't seen it.
It stars our main dude.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
He's great. He's been in a lot lately.
He's been in a lot, and as an actor, I will give him props because English is not his first language. I know for myself that when I'm like acting in Chinese, for example, as my second language, is really, really hard. So, and he did it for the whole entire thing, speaking English. It's tough.
Yeah.
And so what Taimao was saying, and I'll quote what he said here from the article on Digital Spy. As you know, with streaming, our seasons are fairly short. We have 10 episodes, it's a brand new show, and we have a brand new cast. In many respects, we're just getting our feet wet with this show. We're getting into the characters, the show is building, and there's much more of a clarity by the end of the season. Normally on a network season, you get 26 episodes to work things through, hash things out, and make some adjustments on the way. But for streaming, it's very difficult in 10 episodes. Given the opportunity and how much people like the first season, I believe people are going to really like it in the second and third season. Given the opportunity, there are so many directions we can go with the show. I couldn't agree 100% with you on that. I totally agree with that. And because on network TV, when you have you release episode weekly, so you also get audience feedback. That's why you can make adjustments. When you have streaming on Netflix, is you just put it out there.
Yeah.
You have to take a gamble, so you have no idea what the audience is thinking. But, so it's hard. So when people are saying, okay, well, do you want to renew? People on Netflix are probably like, okay, maybe should we renew it? Should we not? Do people even like the show?
It depends on who's streaming it too, how many people have streamed it now.
Yeah, it depends on how many people have streamed it. But they have received a lot of positive reviews from especially those who are fanatics of martial arts films, fight films. Like, they love stuff like this, you know? So I want to see where it heads. On top of which, I will like it because this show has done a really good job in terms of incorporating a lot of different Asian American fields in the sense of like, not only was there a full Asian cast, and it takes place in, you know, Chinatown in San Francisco. Geographically, it's dope. There's food, like Asian foods in there, but even Asian music. When I was watching the first episode, I actually freaked out at one point because they're playing this one song from this dude named Chops, who's he's a Chinese American rapper. He's part of a group back in the day called Mountain Brothers, who pretty much they are like the first like Asian American group to have made a big splash in the hip hop scene back in the 90s. So his song was on episode 1.
Oh, cool.
And he has actually, and I follow him on Instagram, so I know that he's done work with Wu Assassins, and they've made many soundtracks. So I want to see that happening. If there is a season 2, I want to
more music,
more collaboration between like all the Asian communities and have full representation from everything, you know.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you get all types of interesting actors. Like I met 2 of the actors like from the series like in New York, and they're really, really nice.
That's great.
There's another like Celia, shout out Celia if you remember me, and like Lawrence Cow, who plays like the younger brother. The dude was on America's Best Dance Crew.
Oh, so dope.
Yeah, and he still dances too. So it's like I've known this dude like when he was doing that, and so to see him on a show like this, I'm like, yo, like, it's great. So once again, like once they get the feedback from the people and to hear like what can we do to adjust, if Netflix feels like it's good, get them a season 2. Please get them a season 2.
If that's also just up to people watching it too and streaming it past the first 2 episodes, so we got to keep watching.
We have to keep watching it too.
Yeah.
So it's up to us, the people, the viewers, to give them what they want. Yeah.
For sure.
For sure, you know.
Speaking of music.
Rap of China. If you guys don't know this show,
What's that?
it kind of follows the premise of The Voice, but with rap. So you have
In China.
In China. So you have contestants coming up and they rap. There's like freestyle segments. If anything, is I think it's closer to a Korean show called Show Me the Money. And they've had it's a show called Show Me the Money. It's a really, really popular show in Korea, Show Me the Money. And it all involves like rappers and they have like freestyles and stuff like that. And like you get into groups and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. So what's really crazy about this is that this show blew up. Season 1 was released in 2017, and since then there has been over 3 billion online views for this show. 3 billion. That's more than the entire population of China.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mad people have fallen in love with the show because of the hype, because of the edge, because of how new it is, because hip-hop was still very much underground.
Yeah.
It's only until now that hip-hop is starting to get into the mainstream of China. I mean, hip-hop's just really only starting to get into the mainstream of American music.
Well, debatable,
but I'll say like now more so I'm hearing more rap songs on Z100, which is
Okay.
very much a mainstream vanilla-ish type of station. I will say vanilla-ish, yes, because I'm a hip-hop head and we think differently. We listen to different things. But in China, season 1 was crazy. Off the hook. And a lot of people actually got famous from that show. In particularly, I really liked like Lexi Liu. She was on that show. Vanna is another one. So Lexi Liu, she just signed with 88 Rising.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. Drama game show. 30 episodes, wow.
Yeah. So, but what happened was that it got so much hype and that there was so much newness with hip hop and also because of the language, you know, it's more crude. I would say like because there's more edge to it, there's more punch. So they got some backlash because one of the champions from season 1 had like a misogynistic line in an old rap song that he had back in 2015. So he got flagged for that. And actually the show got flagged. There was a lot of censorship with that show. So people were like, oh, and so at one point, like the government banned hip hop from mainstream media.
The Chinese government.
The Chinese government.
Yeah.
Because it's so new and it's like, what is all these people with their sag pants and like with do-rags and like spitting, like doing their thing, like it's not proper.
Wow.
Right? Which is why season 2 wasn't as big of a hit because of all the censorships, because of all of the backlash from the government and from people. But the viewers were saying that the viewers were saying,
is it a live show, like in front of a live audience?
Yeah, in front of a live audience.
Got it.
The viewers said that, season 2 wasn't good because it lost its edge.
Oh, because they weren't taking risks.
Because they weren't taking risks like that. So season 3.
Although, what was he censored for? The line about...
some misogynistic line about this one actress, one Chinese actress.
So maybe that's a good thing that they were like flagging that.
Yeah, I thought that was a good thing to flag it, but at the same time, but even when he apologized, they also flagged that too. Even when he made an apology, they like censored that too. Like, you know, like they're just like,
so
screw you,
just,
like
not talk about it.
It's like whatever.
Interesting.
But they have other people who
because there's
like
definitely a difference between being misogynistic and like being bold and being edgy.
Yeah,
Those are
I think they're very,
different
very different.
Yeah.
But you know, 2015 is an older song. Like I'm sure, like he probably was in a different mindset back in the day. But even 4 years ago, even like one of the do you know MC Jin?
No, I don't know a lot of Chinese music, Rob.
This dude's Asian American. He's Chinese American. But MC Jin, he's the first like solo Asian rapper to have been signed under a big record label, Rough Riders. Same record label as DMX, who's a big American rapper back in the day. So he was spitting like all kinds of crazy stuff on 106 in Park, like back in the day in BET. Those who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Those are classic videos, you know, on YouTube. So he made a big splash in there, but he didn't get much of a success in America, so he went back to Hong Kong. He did really, really well in Hong Kong. If anything, he went platinum in Hong Kong.
Wow.
He did a whole Cantonese album, and now he's back in the States. And he's done a couple of movies. He released a whole album here in America as well. I got a chance to meet him twice, and we brought him to Northeastern one year too.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so what happened with Rap of China like recently?
So recently, gearing up for season 3.
Oh, okay. That's
Because
why it's in the news.
That's why it's on the news because of what they received from the audience from season 2. They're like, we gotta make some couple of changes. So now they're going global. Like, they're reaching out to the Americas all the way to Malaysia for the next big Chinese rapper. And there's even a video where
Could it be you?
You know what?
You're gonna enter?
Okay, I'm gonna say this right here. I'm gonna announce it. 我的国语不好. My Mandarin is not good. But I'm going to give myself 9 months to transform into a new Rob Chen. A Rob Chen 2.0. The same amount of time does it take to pop out a baby. That'll be for me, it's the same thing.
Continue.
It's the same respect. It's like I'm giving myself this 9 months to create a new life. Part of that new life is getting fluent in Mandarin.
You are fluent in
I'm not
Mandarin.
fluent in Mandarin.
Don't say that, Rob. People won't know the difference. I know the difference.
You know the difference? 你看我说的话，我的口音很大的，你知道啊？
Yeah.
但是我给我自己9个月, I give myself 9 months to get really fluent, because if they were to have a season 4 and they were to have an audition in America, and if I get fluent in it, I will try to audition.
Keep your eyes out, everyone.
I will.
Rob Chen, 2020, Rap of China, season 4.
Season 4. If they have season 4, I would love to just audition, to audition.
You'd be great. How can we watch Rap of China? Where is it on?
It's on YouTube.
On YouTube.
You can watch the full episodes.
Wow.
Season 1 and season 2.
Let's do it.
On YouTube. But they're like an hour long, so
Yeah, you could have it on in the background while doing
can't.
something.
Yeah. Well, while we're doing something, you know. But
Yeah.
I would watch intently.
Oh, you would? Okay.
I would, because I need to get the language
It
up.
takes a lot to make me watch a TV show like intently nowadays.
Really?
Like
Do
it
you-
has to be very interesting.
Do you like make ramen while you're like...
or I'll like fold my laundry,
Fold
or
your
like
laundry,
I'll
you
just
know.
be like on my phone or reading a book. I don't know. It's so weird. Like I can
How do you do that?
like I don't know. It just needs to have background noise in the back.
What?
You don't do that?
No, never. When I'm watching a show, I'm watching this show.
It depends on the show. Like The Office, I've seen so many times. I'll just like leave it on in the back.
I've also never seen The Office fully.
Ever?
Obviously, I've watched The Office, but I've never seen it from its entirety from season 1 to all the way to the end.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, because it's a
hard.
lot. It's a lot of
It's a
episodes,
lot.
you know.
Anyway.
I just know Pam and Jim are Matt Cube, you know,
Yeah, they are.
and Michael Scott.
Michael Scott.
Yeah. Wait.
Anyway,
Oh wait, that's the rate. We're like way past time.
well, we started
right?
a little late too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we should say goodbye.
We had to say goodbye.
Till next week.
Till next
Watch
week.
out for our Chinatown videos.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Let us know what
Let us
you
know.
guys are talking about, what you guys are seeing.
Let us know what you want us to talk about, what
Yeah.
you want us to react to,
Yeah.
anything. And as always, we have episodes coming out every week, either on a Wednesday or Thursday. Follow us on CHINOSITY on YouTube and CHINOSITY News on Instagram. We're on all the platforms, including Spotify and SoundCloud.
Peace.
再见，下一见见。
What?
下个星期见。
下星期见.
下星期见。
You know what I think it is? I think you need to close your mouth more in between words. Like 下星期.
下星期。
下星期. 下星期.
下星期。
期.
期。
见.
Damn! 见。
Good job. Proud of you.
I'm gonna try.